Hello, good day and welcome. Welcome to another surprise episode of the RichBuddy live show. Always unannounced, always unexpected content and guests. Let's see, we're gonna be missing the rancher this morning. Sad emoji. He is in court. Just reading his text right now. All right. So we'll be shy of the rancher this morning. That's okay. Sorry for the late start. I had to mix myself a glass of chocolate milk. And wait a little bit till I feel a little better. So let's see what we can talk about this morning. Has anybody else talked about the ROLEX price hike? Nobody else that matters, right? The only lad that I used to somewhat watch, but I haven't had any opportunities to watch probably in the last 6 months is Tim Masso and the Watchbox. I like that program, but I haven't tuned in a number of months. I might have to look back last few days and see if they had any exciting talk about the ROLEX price hike. But that's what I want to talk about a little bit. I mean, it wasn't just... How long ago was it that I picked this up? It wasn't that long ago that I picked this up. I bought this full kit and caboodle. This was full kit and caboodle, non-zenith. Pretty good condition. I negotiated that down to 14.5. It was either 14.5 or 14.2. I don't remember. I'd have to look at the receipt. But I'll be damned if anybody would negotiate $1,300 off $1,000 off a Daytona nowadays. So, I mean, this watch has essentially more than doubled. If I paid 14 and a half for it, I sold it for 16 to one of you guys. So the person who bought it from me for $16,000, he's sitting at exactly double right now. And I want to say that was 2 years ago, fella? If you're watching. Was that 2 years ago I sold you that watch? Time really flies. It might have been 3 years. Hell, I might have had a YouTube channel for 5 years now. I'm not sure. Could be that long. And because when you measure everything by the pandemic terms, I mean, heck, it's been 2 full years, hasn't it? 2 full years, right? Not just 1 full year. We've been under pandemic. It's been 2 full years, isn't it? I've lost track of time. Now I really don't know, to be honest. It was 2020 that we had the shutdown in March, where everything shut down in the world. So it's been a year and a half, couple of years. So so it's been 3 years for sure, at least 3 years that I sold this watch then. Wow, time flies. So 15, 16. I'm trying to try to put it in perspective here. Let me pull up my favorite. Let me pull up my favorite gray dealer. My favorite gray dealer in the whole wide world. I bought 3 watches from European Watch Company. Wonderful people to deal with. Unlike Tourneau, bunch of jerk offs at Tourneau. Don't ever buy a watch from Tourneau. Rolex. We're not interested in any other brands. We're interested in the brand that brings their A game. Oh, I've never seen that before. Sorry, this watch was sold before we could even take a picture of it. Interesting. I never saw that before. All right. Look at this. Hey, there's a Cellini. Little Cellini. Oh, that's a good deal. 16.9. I mean, maybe nah. Well, I mean, what is that at 18? Not really a good deal. But if you really want one, you can save a few bucks rather than getting it direct. So, I mean, you know what? If the AD isn't doing you any favors, why buy a watch from them? Why buy a Cellini from them? I mean, hit them up. Tell them, look, I'm looking for a Cellini and my Pepsi. You think you can make me a package deal? Otherwise, I'll go find somebody who will. You're going to have to play that card at some point with some dealers. You know, like when it came to Tourneau, I decided I'm not dealing with Tourneau more. So I started dropping F-bombs on those bastards, and knowing that full and well that, you know, they won't be getting me shit after I do that. But I was done. At that moment, I decided I'm done. And I'm telling you the fuck I think about you. How about that? And your piece of shit store at Tourneau. So at some point, you got to decide, you're going to give them money or not deal with them either. You want to kill the relationship, you know, shoot it like a dead dog, because that's all it is. At some point, you get tired of beating around the bush, right? You want to deal with real dealers. A dealer is someone who deals and comes through, you know. You ain't gonna keep going to the guy who's got the bad shit, right? Or who's got nothing at all. Every time you go there, he's got fucking nothing, right? Sorry, all I got swag. Why do I even come here? Now, Omega steps up to the plate, and they're giving me better watches than Rolex even makes. I mean, that Speedmaster Snoopy, and that Ed White that I'm getting, both those watches. I mean, unless you're getting a Daytona from Rolex, there isn't much from the Rolex line that can compete with an Omega Snoopy and an Omega Ed White. Am I right about that? What from the Rolex line would you want more? Would you prefer an Omega Snoopy or an Ed White or a Rolex? That's a good question. It's pretty easy to answer, to be honest, with few exceptions. But overall, I mean, Rolex isn't everything. Sometimes you gotta make decisions based on the dealers you deal with. Some are fair to you, some are great to you, some are just outright scumbags like Turno. And it's a dirty game, this watch thing. You can't just walk in and buy one. It's a dirty game. It's a dirty game where, for the most part, 90% of the people you deal with will want to take advantage of you. If they're on the side where they have what you want, they're going to take advantage of you. 9 out of 10 times, they'll want to take advantage of your pocketbook and your goodwill. So expect it. Well, I think that's the difference between box and papers and no box and papers on the Zenith. $9,000. I'll bet you that's the only difference between these two, other than the A series is the last year they made them. So you're getting the latest, you're getting the most recent production of that model versus one that's sort of in the beginning year production of that model. So maybe the years has to do with it, but it doesn't say full papers on this one. So it's older and without papers. As time goes on, some of these Rolexes that were less appealing in the past look more appealing in the future. Like the Explorers. I've always wanted the white dial Explorer, and I just can't believe what the price of it's gone up to now, $14,000. Could have picked that damn thing up for half price. Just always thought it would be there to pick it up without having to worry about the price going up ever, is what the deal was on that. Again, I think the sweet spot is these Sea Dwellers. I think these are fairly priced for what they are. Wow, that's an unworn Cellini, man. Dated December of 2021. December of 2021. I mean, I think we looked at these, and these are for 18.6 maybe. Well, and there was just the recent price hike too. So what are these going for? Let me look here real quick. Rolex.com. Where are you going to check that price at? Rolex.com. Man, what's with all the cops beating the shit out of people and killing people lately? Holy crap. It's gone tenfold since they strangled that dude, Floyd. It's like they're doing revenge killings now for all that shit. There we go. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. That's not the right one. So we need to look for the dual time register. Where's the dual time at? That's the calendar. They don't have a dual time? Wait a minute. No, here? December 2021. It's fresh, so it's got to be. Let me look at that dial. Let me go back and look at the dial. Yeah, it's got the dial at 6 o'clock. It's got the dual dial at 6 o'clock. It's not discontinued this year, is it? Let's see here. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit. So none of these have a dial. These are all dates. Dates. Exactly, dates. Cellini time. So that's time only. Okay, so it's definitely not on page 2. We've determined that. Page 1. Moon phase. Date, time only. Date, time only. Date, time only. Whoa, man, there's no dual phase anymore. They discontinued the dual phase? They discontinued the dual time. What? I mean, there's no trying to configure it. This is all of them. This is view all. There's nothing to configure here. Why would they do that? I mean, that seems odd to me. So how much is a date? So these are $17.9. So this would be the equivalent price of that one. You know, because it's a single complication. So this would be about what you can equate the price to, $17.9. But hell, it's discontinued. Did you know that? Did you know that the dual time is discontinued? I wonder if they even know. You know why I ask that? Because they usually would say here, they always point out, they would say here discontinued. So maybe they're not even aware that this is discontinued. It's dated December 2021. I mean, this is right off the manufacturing line. You know, this is a great dual time. This is a wonderful dual time. I mean, this is a great dual time. This is a badass dual time. I mean, look at the window in that time. See the little aperture there in the sub. in the other clock, it's got a day-night indicator, and it's a really cool day-night indicator. You see the sun, you know. I mean, it's really unique how they do it. You know, Rolex does everything differently than everybody else. They don't want to copy anybody. They do everything differently. And I know you haven't seen an AM PM indicator quite like this before. I know you haven't. And it's already discontinued. Damn. Like, leave some of the good stuff up so that, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we can buy them. These aren't things that we just go buy right away. We look at them for 5 years or longer before we buy them. I mean, I've been looking at Cellinis from the first day I bought Rolex. I made that decision. Do I look at a Cellini or do I look at a Submariner? When I first went in and bought my subs, I went and looked at everything in the store. And as a business person at that time, I decided, I was like, well, what should I wear? Is the dive watch really fitting for a suit? And so I really had to make all these different decisions like that. And this was on the table. The Cellini was. And this is a good one. I'm so upset that they're discontinuing it. Come on. I mean, why leave so many dates and not just keep the dual time? Did you see how many date versions they had? Did they need all of those date versions? Oh, and this is what Clive was talking about the other day, how the Explorer, they made a mistake on the Explorer dial. It needs to have 05, and on the Explorer dial, they only have 5. But look here on the Cellini, they have 05 there for the seconds display. Isn't that interesting? Now, isn't that interesting? What do you think of that, Clivers? They did it proper on the Cellini. What do you think of that, Clivers? I like this watch. I like it. I like it. I like it. You see, I need a Rolex buckle at 750. Solid gold on the back. I'd like to have one of those just saved. Super watch. What's up, Dan? Yeah, dual time Cellini. Nah, you don't like it? Um, yeah, balances the 5s. Yeah, the 05, right? It is cool, huh? I can't believe they discontinued that little sucker, huh? Weird. I mean, what are these weird decisions they make? You make all these OPs, and you just discontinuing the wrong watches and continuing the wrong watches. Weird. That's just a weird one for me right there. That is so odd that dual time was just discontinued. And then, but you have all those, look. But you have all these freaking dates. Look at that again. And I don't like that they only have one moon phase version. How come there isn't a black dial, a blue dial? It doesn't take much to change the dial. They already have a bunch of Cellini dials, so why not offer it in another color? They're not changing anything. I mean, there's just a cutout in it, right? There's just a cutout in it for the moon. But other than that, I mean, they don't have to like redesign a whole nother dial or anything. It would look really neat with the pleated design here. What do they call that? I love that this design here. It looks like a pleated design look. The guilloche. I know it's guilloche, but I don't know what kind of guilloche pattern is that. You know, it's like a pleated guilloche pattern. I like that. Pleated. That's what comes to my mind when I see that. Pleated guilloche. But yeah, again, just looking at how many date references they've got. And I think the way they design the date on this watch, I've talked about it before. It's the coolest thing. I mean, I love it. It's sweet. It's a great design, how they design that date there at 3 o'clock like that. I love it. But again, just how many of these they have versus versus not having that one watch. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, they've got so many versions of the just the regular time and the date. The only other Cellini that has a dual time register is the see-through case back Cellinis, the ones that were discontinued, quite a while ago. Those are the only other ones that I know of. Just one real quick. White gold. Just going to look at the price. 17,900. Okay, so these are 18,000. These are 18,000. Holy moly! Chainlink is 2660. Are you freaking kidding me? Whoa! When did that happen? I didn't see it go over 26. Whoa! Holy moly! Oh my god, that's amazing. Holy cow. Chainlink has literally gone up $9 in 2 weeks. Wow. Keep going, baby. Keep going, baby. Holy mackerel. I mean, I've seen my account double from its bottom. Double. All right. This is great. Holy cow. Holy cow. Man, this is my biggest holding, and this is how it's performed year to date. Oh my God, that's year to date. That's year to date. Holy cow. Whoa. $35, next stop. 35, next stop. $35, next stop. $35 ahala. $35 ahala. $35 I go dancing naked in the street. Oh, somebody returned it. Wasn't this one up here before and we were looking at it? Someone bought it and decided they didn't like it and they returned it under the grace period. You see? I don't see anything wrong with it. They just probably just didn't, it just didn't jive with them once they got it. They thought they were going to like it. They thought they could stomach it. And once they received it, they said, this ain't me. And I'm not interested in keeping a safe queen. So they sent it back. I don't see anything wrong with it. This is the same watch we were looking at, right? It looks chippy. It looks chippy, mate. No box, no papers. But you got your tritium pips. They're there. Just don't be shaking your fists all over the place when you're wearing this watch, huh? You might knock that tritium pip loose. I mean, this is one for the collectors, you know. It's a rare bird, as the rancher would tell us. The rancher knows his birds and geese and sheep and cattle and stuff, you know. He's the rancher. When he says this is a rare bird. I mean, they only made a few thousand of these, right? So if you're into show and tell, crazy watch. I like it. So this price hike, what's it done to some of these things? Has it done anything? Can we tell? I'm looking for something that's familiar to me. Man, you know what's all that's left up here are the really expensive watches. So it looks like these are harder to sell, right? These are everything over, what would you say, 40,000 is going to be tougher to sell now. But I mean, everything is just wow. Look, I mean, this is all their Rolex. It's all the big dog stuff. Okay. Okay. This takes a niche buyer here. This is a little niche market, meters first, right? You're not going to get everybody to look at this. Nice. Gotta love that tritium on there, huh? It gives the watch such a distinct look. Any opinions on this watch in particular, just since we're looking at it? I mean, the age is the age. Look at the age in this watch. It's dated what, 1967? So it's hell, man, it's 1967 used to be around the corner. Holy mackerel, that's 70 years ago now. Wow. 60 years. The bracelet, 1978 bracelet. So the bracelet's not original to the watch. Looks like they serviced it. That's the testing. Water tested. Time tested. I haven't been keeping up on prices, of course, with these things. I wonder what these should be going for. Let's see if Omega, I love Omega. So let's see what Omega has in comparison. Omega's the big competitor with Rolex. Certainly when it comes to the chronograph. I love this 50th anniversary Apollo. I mean, you see, there's things you can get out there. It doesn't have to be all Rolex. This is the two-tone. Is it now? Stainless steel. This one's all stainless steel. I know our friend Bud has the two-tone version of this. At least I think he does. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a two-tone version of this. Maybe not. I could have sworn his was oh, you know what? No, only the bezel is two-tone. That's right. I think only that bezel is gold. I think that's what he was telling me. They're not going to make two versions of this watch, I don't think. And I think the price was about the same. So I know he's enjoying this watch. Yeah, this is the one. This is a great watch. The case back on this is just amazing. That is amazing. That case back is just amazing. You know what? Over time, this watch will show its value because of this case back. I can't tell you how cool that case back is. This is one of the good ones. After after the boutiques sold out of it, he called me and offered me this watch before it sold out, and I turned it down. And I don't know how much longer it was. It's a dot over 90 too, dot over 90 bezel. I don't remember how much after it was that he had initially called me, but I called him back for it, and he said, "Man, I'm sorry, it's gone. The only place you're going to get it now is in the secondary market. I'm sorry." I was just like, damn. And then Bud had found one at an Omega boutique over wherever he was at, and he had me call my guy at Omega to inquire about how is this possible this watch is here and the price and whether he should get it or not. And my Omega guy said, man, if he says he can't believe that's there still. He said if it's there at retail, he's like, man, jump on it. So he did. That's a great little design there at the 9 o'clock sub dial. The that's gold etching. I mean, it looks great. To be honest, I'm not really sure what I'm looking at in the picture. It looks cool. I'm not sure about what they actually drew there, though. Now that I'm looking at it, what did they draw? What is that? Is he standing on a V-shaped ladder? Nah. Is he? Is he standing on a standard like Home Depot V-shaped ladder in that picture? What the? I'm missing something on that photo. I don't know. I'm not even sure what exactly I'm looking at. Because it looks like the lunar module's up in the air. And I all that mumbo jumbo behind the ladder, I think that's like supposed to be rock background, maybe. But it sure looks like the ladder is a V ladder. You know what I mean? A V ladder. I don't know. You can just a regular step ladder with two sides. That's weird. That's what it looks like visually, anyway. I mean, the astronaut looks phenomenal. The back of the astronaut coming down, stepping down. I mean, that looks phenomenal. And the part of the lunar module looks good too. I just don't know what the rest of it is. Weird. Very weird. What do I think of the new yeah, I love it. I think it's amazing. I tried it on. I used to have a video uploaded here of it. I don't think I do anymore of me trying it on. I'm not going to look for it. But yeah, no, it's absolutely amazing. It's incredible. I tried it on, the white canopus gold. It's top. It's top. There's no doubt if I just had money to spend, just, you know, if I had extraordinary amounts of money to spend and I could just buy up teen numbers of watches, 100% I'd buy that watch. It's absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, it's probably the best Speedmaster I've ever touched. I remember taking a video of that on my wrist and sending that to Bud. But it was like $35,000, wasn't it? I think it's like $35,000. Man, certainly if one can find that in the secondary market, that'd be the way to go. But I don't know if you'd be able to find one in the secondary market. All right, man. I think I'm going to cut the show. I had a nice little chat with you guys about some watches. Yeah, it wasn't bad. We checked out the Cellini. We talked a little about our Rolex. We looked at a few Rolex and prices and And I think we're good, folks. I'm going to go for a lay down, and I got to get up and do some trading. So thank you for joining me, and have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Peace.